FOMO isn't real. FOMO is the fear of missing out. And oftentimes we feel FOMO when, our friends go on trips or they go to events without us and we can't go due to other commitments. Or sometimes we feel FOMO in our personal life when we hit a certain age and we feel as if we are not where we want to be or have the certain things that we want for ourselves. But FOMO isn't real. The fear of missing out is not real. And I'll tell you why. Simply for one reason. Life is not where you think it is, but where you are. We all have our own life experience, right? So it's your world and I'm living in it. It's also my world and you guys are all just living in it, right? Life is exactly where you are. Exactly where you are, right? So right now I'm at this park, I'm filming this video. This is exactly where my life is. So FOMO isn't real because there's nothing you can really miss out on. Now, when you say FOMO, what you're technically saying is, I would have loved to go to that experience to think of what it would have been like in the memories I would have made with my friends. I understand that. But sometimes you have other commitments in life and when you sort of learn to accept those things, life becomes better. Yeah. Oftentimes, we miss out on like experiences and we think, oh, that's the worst thing in the world. I would have had so much fun. Yeah, but you can always make other future experiences, right? Life is exactly where you are. Oftentimes we think our life's made up of these fun, always exciting, outgoing experiences, right? But life's made up of the beautiful, simple, mundane moments. And those are even as big part of life as those exciting events and stuff you look forward to. But FOMO isn't real for many reasons, right? Because life is exactly where you are happening. So there's nothing you can miss out. And another thing is, everybody has their own trajectory. Everybody has their own timeline. Oftentimes we are afraid to age, right? Because we feel as if we do not quote unquote have our shit together by a certain age. Or we are not where we need to be, right? By a certain age. And then we dread the whole experience of aging and we suffer mentally for not having certain possessions or being in a certain place in life. But that's not how life works. That's honestly not how life works. Everybody has their own timeline and their own trajectory. What you need to learn how to do is live outside of social constructs. And what social constructs do is they give society a guideline of how things should play out or how things should go. But that's not how life honestly really works. When we feel as if we are behind in life, it serves us to remember the story about the Chinese farmer. And I know a lot of you have already heard this story, but I'm going to tell it to those who haven't. So there's a Chinese farmer. He owns a farm and he has a son. And one day his son takes one of the horses out into the outskirts to go feed the horse and, take a horse for a run. And they come back with 4 wild horses, right? And then all the villagers come to the Chinese farm and say, hey, oh my God, your son went out the horse and brought back 4 wild horses and now you guys have war horses. Wow. They ask him how he feels. He's like, okay, it's cool, And then the next day, the son jumps on one of the wild horses and as he's trying to tame the wild horse, he falls down and breaks his arm. And all the villagers come and say, wow, oh my God, your son just broke his arm on the wild horse. Isn't that really bad news? And the Chinese farmer is still indifferent about it. He goes, maybe. And then the next day, the officers come to conscript the son to take him to the army. But the son cannot join the army because he's injured. And all the villagers come and praise him and go, oh, isn't it a good thing that your son got injured? He couldn't go to the army. And the guy goes, maybe. Moral of the story basically is, you should be indifferent about situations in your life. Because we never know which direction they may turn. Oftentimes, the way we see life is limited. Yeah, we only ever see 1% of the life spectrum. What the divine plan that God has for us, we don't actually see. So you just need to take it easy and understand that there's nothing really you're missing out on. And your life is organized, is divinely organized by God in a specific way for you to attain the things that you need to attain. So stop thinking that you're missing out on anything. Life is exactly where you are. And the whole point of life is to just be. So learn to be and not assign too many emotions to the experiences you have, not understanding what they may mean. Oftentimes, you may have a negative experiences and a negative experience. However, the negative experience shaping you into something positive. For example, in the story of the Chinese farmer, his son breaking his arm, he's not conscripted to go to war. Isn't that such a great thing? So this constant fear of you think you're missing out on things because you've got other commitments to attend to is a facade. So don't lie to yourself and think that you're missing out on anything because you really aren't. Life is exactly where you are, and everybody has a different timeline and trajectory. So you should learn to really be at peace with exactly where you are.